And welcome back to Learning New Testament Greek. Today we're going to go over the first three exercises for Chapter 7. That was an awkward sentence. Anyway, let's dive right in. Our first sentence we're going to parse and translate is ha anthropos blepe doulan. Ha anthropos blepe doulan. First up, we're going to parse. So, what's our first word? First word is ha. What part of speech is ha? It's a definite article. And for definite articles, we want the gender, number, case, lexical form, and a translation for the time being. Alright, so what is the gender of ha? It is masculine. What is its number? How many are there of ha? Is it singular or plural? It is singular. And its case. What case is ha? Nominative, very good. Nominative case. What's the lexical form of ha? Ha, a, ta. Ha would probably suffice, but for the article, I like to write out all three. Ha, he, ta. Translation? How do we translate the article? The. Alright, our next word. Anthropos. Anthropos. And what part of speech is anthropos? Very good, it's a noun. And what is its gender, number, and case? Well, it is a masculine noun. You can tell by the os ending. And the article that comes with it's a masculine. What's its number? Anthropos is singular. And its case. It is nominative. What's the lexical form of anthropos? That is, how are you going to look it up in the lexicon? Anthropos is the lexical form of anthropos. Anthropos. Because the lexical form for nouns and, well, for nouns, we'll leave it at that for the time being, is the masculine singular nominative ending, or form. That is the lexical form of a noun. And how do we translate anthropos? Man. Blepe. Blep. What part of speech is blepe? Very good, it's a verb. Now for verbs, we need the tense, voice, mood, person, number, lexical form, and then translation. So what is the tense? Well, it's a verb, and you haven't learned anything but the present tense. And I'll let you know if I realize it. When we hit a word, or if we ever use a verb that's in a form or takes a form that we haven't learned yet. So present, and it's voice, active. What does the active voice mean? That's right, the subject is acting upon something. And indicative is the mood. It's person. Is it first, second, or third person? Remember our endings, O, ace, A. A is the third person. And is it singular or plural? It is singular. The lexical form of a verb is its present, active, indicative, first person, singular form. So blepe, its lexical form is blepo. And how do we translate blepe? Well, he sees. You could say he is seeing, but he sees has fewer letters and thus is easier to write. Alright. What's our last word there? Doulan. Doulan. Dulon's a noun, so it needs a gender, number, case. So what's the gender of Dulon? Check your vocabulary and you'll see Dulon is a masculine. And what's its number? Singular. And its case is accusative. Its lexical form is doulos. And it's translated slave. Or if you want to be kind about it, servant. But slaves were part of life back then. Alright, so let's see. Now, we need to make sense of all this and translate it. So first off, we need to find our main verb. So we're going to go down here, we have a direct article verb. There's a verb. And it looks like it's our only verb, so that must be our main verb. So blepe is more than likely our main verb. Now you can't have understood verbs, but we'll get there when we get there. So blepe is going to be our verb. Now we need a subject. Subjects come typically in the nominative case. So do we have any nominatives? So there's a nominative, and there's a nominative. Ha or anthropos. Anthropos is more than likely our subject, because it looks like ha, because it agrees with anthropos in gender, number, and case, it's going to be modifying anthropos. So, ha anthropos blepe doulon. And doulon is in the accusative case. And what does the accusative case usually do? Or much of the time do? It's oftentimes a direct object. Now, hold up, I know you Greek experts out there that are well beyond this level are for some reason watching this complaining, wait a minute, I thought blepe, akuo, things like that, verbs of some sensation take genitives or ablatives, typically genitives, as a direct object. Well, you're partially right, because they can take a genitive as a direct object, depending on what the author wants to convey. And since I'm the author of this sentence, I want to convey an easy use of the accusative without delving into that particular use of the genitive. So I've chosen, grammatically correctly, the accusative. So, alright, that preface is over, because I'm going to do that a few times in the upcoming chapters. Use verbs of sensation with an accusative object, and that's perfectly fine and grammatically correct. If you don't believe me, go look it up in the Bible. You'll find plenty of examples. I did before I did this. Okay, now back to this level. Accusatives usually are the direct object. Now there are cases, like I just made reference to, where blepo will take its direct object in the genitive, but you'll get used to that, and you'll see it later on. And we'll talk about that later once we delve a little deeper into the cases. Don't worry, that's not going to be for a while. And if we ever see that, I'll point it out to you. And I don't think I'd do that in the remainder of this unit. Anyway, direct object. What's a direct object do? Receives the action of the verb. Alright, so let's put this in English. So, in English we usually put our subject first. So what's our subject? Man. So the man. I am not capitalizing because now the Greeks didn't capitalize consistently. In fact, many of the manuscripts we have are either all capitals, uncials, or all lowercase, minuscules. So capitalization wasn't a real big thing with them. So if you see me capitalize sometimes and not other times, that's why, because that's more of an English convention to help us, help English speakers understand. Anyway, the man, what does the man do? Well, the man sees. What does he see? He sees the slave? No, because it's an arthrus. It doesn't have an article. He sees a slave. The man sees a slave. Anthropos blepe doulon. How'd you do? Did you get it? If not, well, try again. Okay, now, We're going to move on to our next word. I need to detach my patent pending page stabilization device here and get our next word going. Next sentence going. Alright, let's see if I can get this working. Okay. Is it straight? It's as straight as it's going to get. Okay. Let's see. Let's read our word. This is a sentence. I guess in a greater scale of things, this is a word. We'll get anyway. Techna estiusi carpus. Techna estiusi carpus. Alright, this one's only got three words. This should be easy. Alright. Techna. Techna. Alright, what part of speech is techna? It is a noun. What's its gender? Well, the ending should tell you, hey, that's neuter. And its number, the ending should tell you it's plural. And its case. What case is it? The ending should tell you, well, it's either going to be nominative or accusative. Again, I like to write both my options together, and I'll cross one out once I figure out what's going on here. Let's see. Nominative or accusative. And its lexical form, it comes from teknon. And how is it translated? Well, whether it's nominative or accusative, we're going to translate it children. Children. I think that's right. Anyway, let's see. Oh, that needs a breathing mark. I missed a breathing mark, and that's sad. Alright. S. The. U. C. Estiusi. And what part of speech is estiusi? Estiusi. It's a verb. Because it's a verb and you haven't learned anything else yet, it's a present. Active. Indicative. Now, what person is it? Is it first, second, third? There isn't a fourth person, so it can't be that. So that rules one out. It's a third person. Is it singular or is it plural? Well, it's o, eis, e, amen, eti, usi. So it's third person, plural. Plural. And its lexical form is Theo, I believe, Theo, yeah, that's right, Theo, and it's translated they, because it's third person plural, we're going to give it a helper pronoun, they eat. We may or may not use that depending on the subject. Alright, let's see. Our next word, karpos. That's not karpos, it's karpus. Karpus, that's why you should always do this in pencil, so you can erase your mistakes, right? Karpus. Karpus is a noun, and its gender is masculine. It is singular or plural? It's a plural. In what case is it? It's accusative. Because the us ending is accusative. And it comes from karpos, and it's translated fruit. Okay. First step, let's find our verb, which is real easy because it's right there. Estiusti. Usi. Alright, now we need to find our subject. Subject is typically in the nominative case. Do we have any nominatives? So we have a potential nominative, a verb, and an accusative. So more than likely, tekna is going to be our subject, our nominative. So tekna is our subject, estheusi, estheusi, estheusi. There we go. I have too many thetas in there, I think, when I said it. Alright, is our verb, and the accusative usually acts as a direct object. So, tekna estheusi karpus. So, tekna, translate, is children. Eat fruits. Children eat fruits. Tekna estheusi karpus. Children eat fruits. Very good. Do we have time for one more? Ooh, this one's a little longer. So we're gonna release this from its binds. We're gonna find a new sentence. Take it up there, make sure it's all in camera. Oh, this one has more than 3 words. Okay. Dive right back in. So, it's a definite article. Now you're going to see so many times you're going to say it's a definite article, masculine, singular, nominative. It's from a, da, translated the. Eventually that's going to be so common it's going to be almost boring to write this out. But do it anyway, because it's going to help you in the long run. See, at some point we're going to say, okay, you don't have to do that anymore. But for the time being, I want you to write it out. See, apostolos. And again, I'm missing the breathing marks. Must have been tired when I prepared these. Apostolos. Apostolos is a noun, correct? A noun. What do we need for nouns? Gender, number, case. It's masculine. Number is singular. And its case is nominative. It comes from apostolos and is translated apostle or apostle. Apostle. Let's see. Next word, acque. And again with the missing, I got that one. Breathing marks. Acque is a verb. I'm going to abbreviate the present active indicative as PAI for the time being. Once we get back into verbs, I'll have you write that out a little long ways. Alright, let's see. What else do I need for a verb? Got its tense, its voice, and its mood. I need its person. Acque is a third person. And it is singular. It comes from ku o. What's acque mean? He hears. Ton. Ton is a definite article. What's its gender? It's masculine. Could it be neuter? Ooh, it could be neuter, couldn't it? Okay, yeah. But in this case, look at the word after it. That's a cheat with a shortcut. That's a shortcut with articles. Look at the word it modifies if you have any question. If you're thinking ton, is that masculine or is it neuter? Look to the word it modifies. And ungalon, we know that's not neuter, so it's masculine. So the article, because they have to agree in gender, number, and case, is masculine. Masculine. Gender, number, it's singular. And its case is accusative. It comes from ha, he, ta. By the way, the hey, that's the feminine article. We'll get there shortly, I believe. Ha, he, ta. And ta used, as the neuter. Ha, he, ta. Translation is the Angalan. That's not Agalon, it's ung. Remember the nasal gamma? Two gammas together pronounce an ng sound, so Angalan. Angalan. And it is a noun. And because it must agree in gender, number, and case with the article, we've already figured out what it is. It's a masculine, singular, accusative. And it comes from angelos, and it's translated angel. Angel. Alright. And the'u. The'u is a noun. And its gender is masculine. Its number is singular. And its case, is it ablative or genitive? It could either be genitive or ablative. Let's see, what else do I need? Its lexical form is theos, and it means God, or it could mean a little g God, depending on the context and what the author intended to speak about. But I'm going to give you a hint. As the author of this sentence, I already know I'm not talking about the little lowercase gods, so there. Alright. Step 1. Find the verb. See article, noun, verb. Akue, article, noun, noun. So akue is our main verb, more than likely. Now we need to find us a subject, which is typically in the nominative case. So let's see, do we have any nominatives? That's a nominative. That's a nominative. Accusative, that genitive or ablative. So, a modifies apostolos. So apostolos is our subject. So the apostle. What is the apostle doing? The apostle hears. What does he hear? Well, he hears the direct object, which is typically in the accusative case. Ton there isn't the direct object because it's modifying angelon. He hears the angel. I used to spell it angle. I get angle and angel mixed up. Well, that is until I learned Greek and I know angelos. So Greek helped my English in this point. Anyway, now we have the'u. What are we going to do with the'u? Well, recall, we're going to use a helper preposition to help us figure out if it's genitive or if it's ablative. Alright, if it were genitive, what is our... Genitive is the case of description, something of that nature. And what is our helper preposition? Of. And ablative is the case of separation, so from. Ooh, now both of these make sense. The apostle hears the angel of God, or the apostle hears the angel from God? Now, you could probably say both of these make sense, but I'm going to make you choose one. So, is this angel from God, as in he could find a source from God, which is true? Sometimes it's used comparatively, but not in this case. The grammar doesn't support any sort of comparison. So is he here's this angel who finds his source from God, or is he an angel that he's of God? It's sort of one of his attributes. It's telling you something about him. It modifies him in a little different way. Alright, so What type of angels are there? Are there cherubim and seraphim? Okay, broader scope. We have two sorts of angels. We have angels, good angels and bad angels. All of them find their ultimate source from God. So I think in this case, I want to say of. So I'm going to say it's a genitive. It's a description. This is an angel of God. This is one of God's angels. One of the good ones, if you will. Now, I could say that this one was sent from God, but I would probably make that a little more clearer by adding sent in there, which actually is the verb form of the word apostolos. Apostolos means sent one. So the angel would be apostolos, or from God. Okay. So the apostle hears the angel of God. Apostolos akue ton angelon theu. All right. I think that's enough for today, and I will see you next time when we finish up the last two sentences in our exercises. So go ahead, and if you haven't already, go work on those a little while, and I will see you then, and hopefully we'll finish up Chapter 7.